New offensive coordinator Nick Kayley's played it real close to his vest when he's been asked about his offense, but one of his wide receivers gave us a little peek behind the curtain and why that peek is important if we're trying to figure out what the Texans will be doing on offense. I'll explain. Brought to you by my friends at The Perfect Jean, the most comfortable, best jeans I've ever worn. You can get your pair as well with 15% off. Free shipping and free exchanges. Try out the bunch of different styles and colors at The Perfect Jean. Link in the description down below. So new offensive coordinator Nick Kayley, he hadn't given you much to work with when he's talked about his offense. In fact, during OTAs, he was asked yet again, hey, what's that Nick Kayley offense look like? And well, he didn't give you much to work with.
It's not my stamp specifically. It's what suits the strength of the guys that we got. So I think we're in the discovery process through phase 2, and we get to work with them on the field, get an opportunity to see the different skill sets, the different routes, the different schemes that we could potentially deploy this year. So it's really an evolving process, and this is the time to really kind of put the rubber on the road and see what we can do and evolve from there.
Now, look, he's probably right. He probably has some things he wants to put in as bases for this offense that everybody's going to have to run, but figure out exactly what everybody can do, especially when 3 wide receivers you're going to lean on, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Christian Kirk, are new to the Houston Texans. You still got to figure out exactly what everybody's good at, who can be great at things. And so I get that from Nick Kayley's standpoint, but some of the basics, some of the things that he's going to install and instill with this offense, Christian Kirk gave us a little peek behind it. The new wide receiver for the Houston Texans, brought over via trade from the Jacksonville Jaguars, was asked about Nick Kayley's offense, and man, he had a glowing review of it.
Nick is all ball, very intelligent, very smart, does a great job communicating to us, what the expectations are, route detail, motions, formations, whatever the case may be. He's done a great job kind of laying that out for us. And it's been, I guess, primarily pretty easy, just being able to learn it the way he's been able to install it. Ben McDaniels in our room has done a great job teaching us just all the things from a football IQ aspect that you need to know as a receiver. And this offense is dynamic. A lot of motions, a lot of pre-snap adjustments for the defense to have to, deal with. So I think you'll see a lot of guys in different places to be able to make plays.
Now let me play that important part there at the back end one more time, because that's the one that jumped out, made my eyebrows raise a little bit, and got me working on some of the ideas of why it mattered so much.
This offense is dynamic. A lot of motions, a lot of pre-snap adjustments for the defense to have to, deal with. So I think you'll see a lot of guys in different places to be able to make plays.
So dynamic, motions, pre-snap adjustments by the offense to maximize what they can do to take advantage of what the defense is showing them. Sounds pretty exciting, right? Sounds like it's going to be an active offense. Didn't you feel like last year under Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator last season, the Texans felt a little stagnant. The Texans felt a little uncreative. Doesn't sound like what Nick Kayley's doing is pretty creative. So my friend Texans Cap, we talked about this earlier in the offseason. We were talking about motion percentages and just being more active pre-snap. And I was wondering, hey, Nick Kayley, he's been in L.A. for the past 2 seasons. I wonder how much the Rams motioned versus when the Texans motioned and what kind of success it led. And, well, Cap pulled the numbers for me, and I wanted to show them to you. Motion percentage, much higher for the Rams versus the Texans. Motion at snap. Think about static offense that the Texans had, where guys who maybe weren't super talented at wide receiver late in the year because of all the injuries were just trying to win on pure talent alone against defenses. Yeah, the Rams didn't leave their guys out there on islands to go out there and just win by themselves. They created the offense around the players' skill sets to go out there and move guys around as the ball was getting snapped, and even multiple elements of motion was something that the Rams did, all far greater than the Houston Texans last year. And you're saying to yourself, like, Cody, those numbers look great. What does it mean? Hey, 30 seconds here for my friends at The Perfect Jean. These are the best jeans you will ever buy. They are the most comfortable jeans I have ever owned. They are lightweight. They are breathable. They are stretchy. I'm not ripping the seat out, getting into my truck like I have previous pairs of jeans. Get you a pair of jeans from the Perfect Jean. They have tons of different styles and colors, and you're going to get 15% off, free exchanges, and free shipping. Use my link in the description down below. Makes a great Father's Day gift. Well, the Rams were a yard per play better when they used motion than when they didn't use motion last year. So when the Rams ran a play and they didn't have motion associated with the play, okay, they were a yard per play worse. But when they put motion in, a yard per play better as an offense. Now, this is a very tiny element of Nick Kayley's history. He's been in LA for 2 years. He was with the New England Patriots prior to that. But it is something that was drastically missing and apparent that it was absent from the Texans offense in 2024 that needs to be present in 2025. Think about if, I don't know, Nico Collins got a little bit easier release because he was in motion. Think about making it easy for rookie wide receivers like Higgins and Knoll to get out there and get into their physicality as a wide receiver, because motion has kept the DBs from putting their hands on them right away. Making offense easier with some motions is something that the Texans couldn't do last year, didn't do well last year, and hopefully will do well under Nick Kayley. Now, a little window dressing here and there, that doesn't totally fix everything. That's not everything associated with the offense, but giving yourself that element and making things easier, not only for the receivers to go and do things, but for the quarterback to see things. Man, trying to adjust and adapt the basis of that offense to what your guys do and maximizing those skill sets just feels like Nick Kayley already has something that's more exciting and more inventive than what Bobby Slowick brought to the table last year. Now, again, motions aren't everything. You still got to call plays. You still got to have feel and timing for the situation. But hey, a couple of years ago, rookie play caller Bobby Slowick was pretty good, and Slowick didn't have near the amount of history on offense that Nick Kayley did. Nick Kayley's history, even though he's a first-time play caller, much deeper and exciting than what Bobby Slowick brought to the table. So while there's a first-time play caller worry, as there probably is for some people, not so much for me. Kayley was my top choice amongst potential offensive coordinators. His history, having been in New England and most recently in LA with one of the best masterminds in all of football, Sean McVay, gets you pretty excited about what Kayley can bring to the table. He's one of the most important pieces of the Houston Texans offense in 2025. And oh, by the way, as we talk about the motions and the wide receivers and making things easy for CJ Stroud, another element that we haven't had a holdover offensive lineman to talk to about that I'm excited to explore is what's different from a blocking scheme perspective. Has Nick Kayley made things easier on the five guys up front that block for CJ Stroud? Because at times it looked like schematically the offensive line was lost. We got to figure out if Nick Kayley has improved that to any large degree in 2025 after it was a failure about the 2024 situation. So Nick Kayley, motions, dynamic, pre-snap adjustments for the offense. That wasn't prevalent in 2024. It looks like it'll be a much bigger element here in 2025 and should lead to some more exciting offense. And I hope Christian Kirk's right. Dynamic, that D word that is so important. The Texans lacked dynamic offense last year. If they have it this year, they're going to be going to places that maybe we haven't ever seen the Texans go before. What say you? You buying into what Christian Kirk said, getting you a little excited about Nick Kayley, or you want to wait? Let me know in the comment section down below on your way down there. Throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to visit with my friends at The Perfect Jean for your 15% off, free exchanges, free shipping when you visit The Perfect Jean with my link in the description down below. And, of course, don't forget the SNL shows live each and every weekday at 4 p.m. with myself and Landry Locker from the Locker Room. Subscribe to that channel as well. Appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.